Well, hello, coffee time friends. How y'all doing? It is coffee time. It is 67 degrees. It's 6 o'clock and it's almost dark. And there's just a little bit of that twilight left out there, but it's almost dark. But it's still 67 degrees here on the, what is today? The 15th? 16th of November?
Ain't that right?
And it don't matter. It don't really matter what the date is because
16th, I was right.
Because if it was the 15th, it'd be the 16th that quick. If it's the 16th, don't get used to it. It's going to switch in about 30 seconds. It's fast. Where's this November going?
It's gone. It ain't going nowhere.
Now, if you tuned in to watch us make dressing, you're a few months late. We made this 8/13/23. And Mama marked it homemade dressing. It's just a little small pack. Just perfect. I've got a little tiny loaf pan that I have put olive oil in, and I'm going to squeeze the contents in here and get this in the oven so it will be done. And no, it's not going to make a huge loaf. It's going to make a mama loaf. She likes it thin.
Oh, yeah.
She was going to put it in muffin tins. I said, oh, Mama, let's just throw that in that loaf pan and get it done. Muffin tins are a good idea, but they have to be, it's harder to wash. And she likes a good thin batch. So I think this is going to be thinner than a muffin tin. Muffin tins do bake quicker and you get crunch all the way around. But at the same time, they're thicker. So I'm going to get every bit of goodie out of here. This is what I tell you all the time. If you live alone or there's just two of you, say, and you make a lot more dressing than two of you can eat, go ahead and freeze it. It freezes beautifully. And, thank you, Mama. And it's good. It's just as good as fresh. Now, this was made in August. And tonight, it's going to taste like I just sat here and...
Uh-oh. Did I do that?
Did I do that? I think you did, Mom.
No, I didn't touch nothing.
Plug this in down there.
It's plugged in. It's over there somewhere. There it is.
Sorry, we lost a lot. Okay, so you're going to think I just sat here and chopped up celery and onions and carried on to make delicious homemade dressing. And look, this dressing is going to be...
That's how you're turning it off. It was sliding.
I think there's a short.
I mean, it ain't been used.
Forget it. Y'all can see us, can't you? We're not in the dark.
No.
Okay. So I'm just going to smooth this out, and it's going to make about, probably about the same thickness as a muffin, but it's just going to be one little loaf here. And there it is, folks. Homemade dressing from August.
Quick and easy.
And it does not taste like it's been frozen. It tastes just as good as fresh. It's delicious. So that's what we do with that. That's what we do with that.
This is in.
I don't know, Mama. Technical difficulties.
I reckon.
Call the boys from the crew and get them to come down here and do some stage maintenance.
Oh, you think they would?
There you go. Don't you move. Right. Okay, now this is some turkey. This ain't turkey. This is some chicken that Mama cooked today. It was whole pieces, bone in, to get that beautiful broth that we're going to show you in a minute. Patience.
Huh?
You knew your name. Just trying to start without y'all. That Mama cooked whole bone in pieces, and I've just now picked them all off the bone. And that broth is beautiful over there with that fat and those bones. Now, Patience, you can begin. Mama is already trying to scoop and dip and get her dumplings on.
Well, that's all we're going to have, dumplings. It's empty. See? Satisfy you. I've got a cup of
Gotta watch her.
We don't need many. I'm going to use a cup and a half.
Cup and a half of flour. This is
eat
White Lily self-rising.
I may eat some tomorrow.
White Lily self-rising flour.
And this is 2 tablespoons of butter.
And this is just salted butter. When we say we're using butter, we always use salted unless the recipe says do not use salted butter.
Got that out of my hands. Now all I'm going to do is just with this pastry fork mix this butter with the... I'm about ready to cook after that mess with the cookies.
What mess, Mama? I've been eating on that mess for 2 days.
I know it, you ate them, but they looked awful. I'm
They
glad
didn't to
that
me.
other batch turned out good.
They didn't look bad to me. They looked like delicious cookies. I shouldn't have eaten them, but I've been eating them. I've had 3 of them. Have you eaten any of the bad ones?
Yeah, I ate them the day I made it. When was that? Yesterday?
Yesterday. Way back yonder in history.
Way back yesterday. Well, you can see it's kind of...
The butter is just in little balls in there. That fork will just blend it up.
I think I got it good enough.
And it just blends it up, and you'll just see those little butter balls in there. Like little pea-sized butter.
That's my clean spoon, ain't it?
Yes, ma'am.
This is some buttermilk.
Buttermilk makes it better.
And this is whole buttermilk, and it's real thick. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of regular milk.
This is just,
No, I ain't either. That don't.
you don't like the smell of it.
No, I opened that lid and I got a whip.
There's a whole gallon in there.
I know it.
Fresh. Fresh.
That may be good. It may just been around the top, but I didn't like the...
Well, I knew you weren't going to use it when you got it out. I thought she ain't going to use that.
When the whip come up in my
I know
face.
she ain't going to use that. She'll get that fresh gallon. Now, Mama, how much milk did you put in there?
I don't know.
Probably
put
a
too
cup
much.
of buttermilk.
No, not hardly a cup.
Half a cup of buttermilk. And about probably a fourth of a cup of sweet
And
milk.
I've got too much of whatever I put in there. I'm going to have to go with another half a cup of flour.
That's 2 cups total of flour. This is what you got to do, though, folks. Start out with a cup and a half, and if it gets too thin, add you another half cup.
I'm gonna have
Well, you might have enough dumplings at the end of this
to
for a block
last till
party.
Thanksgiving.
One reason we want to show y'all this is a delicious traditional Thanksgiving. There's another fourth of a cup.
Oh, that wasn't a fourth of a cup.
And this is a traditional Thanksgiving meal for us. It's chicken and dumplings on Thanksgiving or on Christmas, either one.
I always fix at Christmas for the kids and my little buddies that likes dumplings.
So what's the goal here for a stiff dough or a loose dough?
Oh, so this is because I can't get it thick enough.
All right. So here's what it is, folks. See that? You want it about like biscuits. Can y'all gauge the consistency of that dough? It's not wet, super wet. It will pull from the bowl, from the sides of the bowl, and you can make a decent dough ball. If you let it rise, you really probably could.
Let me put some flour
So
down.
she's just using wax paper tonight.
It's so messy. I'm bored all.
And we're just going to put the dough on that flour. Now, we always tell you when you're making biscuits, don't overwork your dough. Now, these are going to be fluffy dumplings. There's fluffy dumplings. I asked you all earlier. I saw some people said both. Some people said thin. Some people said fluffy always. Mama's a fluffy always kind of gal.
That's the way my mommy made them.
If you're going to make them fluffy like biscuits, then you work them a little less. If you're going to make them tougher, not tough to taste, just hold together tougher, then you want to work them a lot more. You'll want that dough to be able to hold together when you pick it up. That's the key. But for fluffy dumplings, and some people will just leave them at this stage right here and dip them, spoon them in. That's fine too.
I'll usually do my blackberries that way.
Yeah.
Dumplings, just spoon them
Just
in.
spoon them out of the bowl, just like I just spooned it on there. But Mama's going to incorporate a little bit more flour, and even though it don't look like it, she's pressing that down right now, and that's kind of like kneading it. And then she'll flop it over itself and do it again.
No, I won't. This is too thin to do that with.
You ain't going to work it none, Mama?
It's too thin.
They're going to be fluffy, fluffy.
I don't know if I can get it to look over here.
I think you can, Mama.
I'm making a mess, that's all I know.
I think you can get it there. Put you some more flour right there on that spot.
Yeah, that don't get.
My hands are clean. I was dealing with the dressing before we came on, so I had washed my hands and come straight here and started oiling my pan. Mama, your belly's gonna be white.
Oh, it ain't the first time it's been white. It won't be the last.
One thing about wax paper, you want to use a mat. You could use your countertop. It's clean. That's what it's for.
I don't ever put it.
You want to be able. This gives you a lot more control of your dough. Now, I'd flip that around a little bit, but now mine would be a little tougher than yours.
Yeah. Yours would be a slick.
Slickums. That's what they call them. Slickums. Knead it, knead it, knead it.
I don't want that to stick again.
You might have still got your big wide mat out. You reckon?
Oh, no. I don't want to have to scrape this off from it.
You want a dough roller?
No. It's just us eating them. This will work out just.
Oh, if it was fancy.
If it was for company.
If it was fancy, then she'd do it different, she says.
If it was for company, I'd make it look a little better.
So these are going to be the fluffy puffies, like little biscuits in there. If you're wanting the slickums, then you would fold this over, fold that over, and you'd do it several times until you could pick this up and it would hold itself without having a hole in it. Ain't that right, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
Now for this next part, you can use a case knife. That's what we call a butter knife. Or you can use a pizza cutter. Or you can use a sharp knife. I've seen it done many ways. Don't worry so much about your squares and all that chaos. Just get them cut up. Just get them cut up. So, she'll just cut these up in little pieces, and then we'll take them over there, and you better turn your broth up. It's not boiling. Now, Mama likes dumplings. Dumplings and more dumplings. She don't want chicken in her dumplings. That's the reason we do ours separately. Now, me, I like chicken in my dumplings.
Well, we can put it in here so the chicken will be good and hot. But I'll just eat her now. I can eat some chicken, but not much.
She just don't like chicken in. I can do it separate. I'm fine. It'll be hot enough that chicken will cool it down. Mama, wait.
Oh, I thought you had it on it.
You left us.
Oh, I'm bad.
This is a case knife. If you're from our neck of the woods, we call it a case knife. You people probably got better manners and you refer to it as a butter knife. I don't know what else you could refer to. Is it just
It
a
was
butter
a case knife all my life.
And it's also a screwdriver, if you need a flathead screwdriver.
It's whatever you need.
Now see how meticulous she's doing that? Not at all. You just want to get them in, because they're not going to be squares. They're going to take, some of them's going to clump and lump together. Now I'm going to try to catch her before she gets away from us. It's going to be hard. The ever elusive Jackrabbit Mama is hard to catch. Now this is the way Mama does. She piles them up in her hand.
They come apart. Let's go.
Let's go. You can't catch her. All right. It's not hot yet. See, now you got your hands full of dumplings and know where to put them. Look and see what's in that camera.
Oh, the dumpling kettle.
Okay. Now, you better wait a minute, Mama. They won't work.
It's going to fall off.
You want this to be hot. It ain't. It's getting there, though, because it was just boiling. I just took the chicken out.
I should have made it, turned it on sooner.
I know. Somebody tried to tell you, but would you
I
listen?
know it. I wouldn't listen.
What's that knife there for?
What?
Oh, you cut. You cut some more sandwiches, did you? That it? It's boiling down in there a little bit. You want it to really be boiling a little more
This
than
is
this.
all gonna mat together.
Uh-huh.
Don't get it out here.
But it's not matting together in the pot. Just drop those little dough balls down in there. This is one of the reasons a lot of people just spoon it in. You just stand here with a bowl. I think spooning in for fluffy dumplings is just as good as rolling them out once you've worked it up.
Well, you put some pepper in there.
I sure will, Mama. So let's get some good old black pepper. Did you put any salt in the chicken broth already?
Put it in when I cooked it.
All these dishes over here. Now, what you're going to want to do, this is good black pepper in there. What you're going to want to do is what I'm going to tell you not to do. Don't stir your dumplings. See how now they're really boiling good? You don't want to stir them. I mean, you want to stir them, but you really don't need to stir them. So here comes Mama with some more. So all I'm going to do is make a hole. This is my job. Get it ready for more dumplings. And she'll walk back and forth, packing little wads of dough, and I'll be sticking them in there. Now what you might want to do besides stirring it, you may want to dunk them. Just dunk them. What's the difference, John? Trust me, if you stir these up, you'll have gravy. They'll just mush up. You won't have dumplings, you'll have a gravy in it. I don't know what you would do with it. Mama says she could eat dumpling gravy. I like to move them and always put the fresh ones on that end. That way I know kind of which ones are done and which ones may not be. Is this all of them?
No.
Don't knock that camera over, Mama.
I'm trying to.
You're not used to
keep my
having nobody in the kitchen. Nobody's allowed in the kitchen when she's cooking.
Not dumplings, anyway.
Nothing. Trust me.
Watch my elbow and not put it in there.
Now you can put some creamy chicken soup in here if you want to, but this broth was so rich, it may not need it. Now let's just hold off right there. You got more coming, right?
Yeah.
But you may want to put creamy chicken soup in yours, or something else. But we always put butter, so we'll put a little more butter. Is this a carb-friendly supper? No.
Oh, it's sure not.
This is a carb overload supper.
This is to eat and go to bed.
Nah, not really. All that cornbread we've been skipping, this is one of the reasons. Maybe we can have this tonight without.
Go from over here or something. I've got to.
Okay. Is that all of them?
That's all of them.
I sure say shortly to Pete. How about you through a while ago? Let's put some more black pepper on the tops of these. You can put a little dash of bouillon if you want. If you do, just know that salt is in the bouillon. Mama used to put bouillon or chicken gravy, wasn't it, Mama?
Yeah, sometimes.
You gonna put anything in this tonight?
No, I like just the plain broth if it's good fresh.
If it's good broth, this is not box broth. This is from a cooked chicken. with the fat and all the goodies in. Let's see if I can get a little. I can get a sampling of that to see what the color is, but that's good broth. This is the old-fashioned way, not a lot added. It's basically just biscuit soup. That's what I tell Mom all the time. We have biscuit soup with biscuits and cornbread dressing. Now, just leave them and let them cook. Gonna go ahead and put the lid on them. And that's gonna seal in the goodness. And we're gonna go back over here and let them cook. They need to cook about 15 minutes. At least. I'm fixing to sneeze before I had all that pepper. Your oven just kicked off, Mama. I don't think it was supposed to, was it?
I didn't have it set. You did.
Oh, I just set it to get it hot. Excuse me while I go sneeze. Oh, I knew that was coming. It was building. Pepper overload.
Whoa, somebody didn't put that lid on.
That would be you. Look in the mirror, Mama, on that one.
I was about spilled. Could I have that right?
So what are you all fixing this week for next week? A lot of people are getting started right now on Thanksgiving lunch. And they'll freeze. A lot of people make their casseroles, put them in the freezer, bring them out that morning and cook them. What's the thing you prep way ahead of time?
I don't prep nothing.
Mama don't prep nothing except the night before. Now she will allow us to make the dressing. But other than that, there ain't much prepping. It's all fixed that morning because she likes to do things the hard way. But some of y'all probably are freezing some stuff. Maybe too much pepper. Faye, you think it's too much pepper? I'll add more pepper to mine when it gets in my bowl. Mama likes a lot of pepper too. Now those dumplings, can you hear them now? From the lid being on them, they are boiling. Mama's separating them out. Well, look at that. That pepper's all in this air, I can tell you that. Every time we use that brand of pepper, we sneeze. It's got a powder to it. Hello, John and Momma. Sweet potato casserole. Do you do that ahead of time, Susan? That's a good one. If you make your sweet potatoes, if you're going to use it caramelized, pecans on it, or you can make your sweet potatoes, and then you can freeze it, and then you can add your caramelized pecans on that morning, or you can do it all and freeze it all. But if you're going to use the marshmallow topping, I would definitely do that morning. But as far as the cooking of the potatoes, getting them all ready, and you can even cook your potatoes, put all your seasoning in them, put them in a Tupperware bowl, freeze them, dump it out the next Thursday morning, let it thaw, spread it out in your casserole dish, then let it bake, and then add your marshmallow topping and brown it at the very end. Thank you up a pot. My sister buys her dumplings in frozen food in Walmart. You can get frozen dumplings. We never have, but you can. I don't make anything but pies, desserts. Do y'all remember, you all have been with us for a while, I saw where you made dumplings out of tortillas, flour tortillas, and they said, oh, they're better than blah, 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 blah. And do y'all remember Mama wouldn't stay in the kitchen? She said she would not stay in the kitchen with something like that going on in her kitchen. And they were awful. Now, I'm not saying that I done them correctly. I'm just saying I cut those flour tortillas up and put them in some chicken broth and some soup. And Mama wouldn't. Did you taste of them?
Yeah, I tasted of them.
And you said?
I'd rather have regular dumplings.
I'd rather have regular dumplings, but that really wasn't what she was saying. One of the things she said was, don't you ever tell that you fixed that in my kitchen. Don't ever let nobody know that those dumplings come out of my kitchen. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's like them cookies. I wouldn't let them come out of my kitchen.
Mama won't let it go out. Now, she may let me eat it, but she won't send it and she won't share it if it's not good. It's a Southern thing. You always put your best foot forward. That's the reason church suppers, church lunches are so tasty, because everybody there is bringing their best. They're bringing the best dish they have, the best ingredients. They want it to be good. You're not going to take something to church or to a social event or to a club meeting or anything unless it's the very best. So sometimes you do get very, very good food at those places where everybody's bringing their best no matter what. I'll tell you a funny story. We were just talking about it last night. My cousin, who was my dad's first cousin, she lived to be 92. And she was sort of famous for her delicious mama.
I hope they ain't good and yellow like a whole chicken would have been.
Not a whole chicken, but this was just pieces.
And was just breast.
And you can put food coloring if you want to fool people. But she was kind of famous for her cornbread around. You know, at church functions and at gatherings. If someone passed, oh, that's June's cornbread. So she went to a death, a wake when they was bringing food. And she brought cornbread, but somebody else brought cornbread. And it didn't even look good to suit her. Well, she took it on a throwaway container with plastic wrap over it. So there was really no way of knowing it was hers. So they got ready to leave. And her daughter-in-law was going to the car. Well, here Miss June goes to the car, gets in her purse and rumbles around for a little while. And then she goes back in there. And her daughter-in-law thought, what is she doing? Well, she stayed just a few minutes and she come back out. She said, what'd you do? And she said, I come out here and got me some address labels and went there and put on that cornbread because I want them to know my cornbread. And I was afraid they'd mistaken that other cornbread for mine. It's a Southern pride thing. And we've told that story because it's so funny. It's so funny. She told it herself. Oh, she told it, but she told it to be serious. We just think it's funny that she was that strong on her cornbread. She said, well, would you? I put me 2 or 3 labels on that saran wrap so they'd know that was my cornbread.
I didn't want them to think I brought that other cornbread. It didn't even look good.
Didn't even look good, did it, Mom? It's a Southern thing.
She was sweet as she could be, but she was serious
about cornbread.
And you made her some cornbread.
I made some cornbread for her. And my cornbread's pretty good.
What did she say?
She said, I said, what do you think about that cornbread? And she said, it's good. You did a good job. You're a good cornbread maker. And I said, is it as good as yours? She said, well, no, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. She wouldn't say it was as good as
I wouldn't go that far, she said. I loved it. I just thought that was so good.
When you get that old, you're probably...
I'm that way now. I like my dressing. Mama likes my dressing, don't you, Mama?
Yeah.
So usually Mama say, you make the dressing. She'll make the cornbread and everything to go in it, but she wants me to season it up. And it's kind of hard to stir. As much as we make, it's kind of hard. It's not a simple little mix and go. And you could use a stand mixer or something, but it's not that easy sometimes. Is it coming along?
Yeah, I'm going to get it out.
You want to get it out?
Yeah. What are you going to drink? Your coffee?
I'm drinking this coffee, Mama.
Well, I am going to drink a little bit of water.
Well, if you're going to get water, get me some water too.
With the dressing and dumplings.
Oh, you better drink some water.
I better.
Yeah. We used to drink water a lot more. I had her kind of in the habit, but I kept a Tupperware pitcher, it was just a plastic tall pitcher, kept it in the refrigerator, and it just glistened all the time when you open the door. And it kind of encourages. Well, of course, I got out of that habit and didn't do it. I should have kept that up, shouldn't I, Mama?
Yeah, we've done us both better.
I drink a lot of water.
Yeah, you do.
I'm either coffee or water. Now let's talk about these dumplings. Come right down here.
They're white, look as good as.
Well, they're lighter than they can be, but Mama usually does a whole chicken with fat on it and all that, and puts more butter. You didn't put any butter in this
Yeah.
broth.
I put butter in it when I cooked it, and then I put a little more, about a tablespoon or two.
See, these are fluffy dumplings. They're not thin slickums. Slickums is the name a lot of people call them around here. And they'll ask you, do you make fluffy or slickums? See how fluffy that one is? And that's how you know what they like. Now, I'm going to take that one out and give it to Mama right now. Because that's her kind of dumpling. But these are kind of cool. But you want the dumplings that you want. So if you like slickums, then you're going to work that dough a little bit more. Oh, look at the dressing. See how quickly it cooked up. That's perfect. Mama, I'm surprised you ain't opened up a can of cranberries.
I could.
I'm good, but if you want them.
No.
So I'm going to put me some chicken down because I like chicken and dumplings. Mama, she likes dumplings. Oh, I love cooked chicken. It's one of my most favorite things.
I laid the spoon over here, and I need it over here.
See what I was talking about earlier? I don't have to have chicken in it. I can pour this right over. It's so hot, it'll heat that chicken up. And I'll be eating hot chicken in just a few minutes. Would you do me the honors?
I surely will. Woo! Is that enough?
Oh, that's more than enough. That's a plenty. That's a plenty, Mama.
Yeah, get that out.
Okay. Now this is a meal fit for a Southern king. That is a delicious holiday meal. This could be Southern Sunday lunch, or this could just be Thursday night supper. Mama put a little dumpling juice on her dressing, kind of like gravy. This is loaded with carbs. There's nothing here good for you. There's nothing here good for a diabetic. But I did tell Mama this morning, if we're having dumplings, you lay off sugars and you lay off carbs today.
I've done good.
You didn't have a piece of candy, so that tells me
I
you did
ain't eat no
good.
candy. I'm not eating no cookies today.
Well, that's good, because when you're eating this many carbs, you've got to make an adjustment.
And I'm drinking water.
So proud of you, Mama.
I'm
And
proud
we will
of
check
you
her
too.
sugar before she goes to bed. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful meal. We thank you for these precious hands that prepared it, dear Lord. And dear Lord, we just pray you'll nourish our bodies with it, dear Lord. And dear Lord, just watch over us and lead, guide, and direct us in everything that we do and what we say, dear Lord. And dear Lord, just pray for each and every prayer request that's out there, those spoken and unspoken, the needs of the heart, dear Lord, and the tears in the eyes. Dear Lord, we just pray that you'll dry them all. And dear Lord, we just pray that for our country and our nation, remember Israel, dear Lord. And we just pray that you'll ever lead and ever guide every leader in this old world we live in. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, Mama's having dumplings. I'm having chicken and dumplings. And as promised, here comes the pepper. Now see, for what amount of pepper I put in there, there's not much pepper there. It does look like a lot because I put on the top twice. But that's a deep pot. And it needed some seasoning.
Ooh, dressing's very hot.
Well, you know what I bet done it was put in that oven.
Stove over there, yeah.
I bet you when we put in that oven, that's what happened to it.
It got too hot.
All right, this is hot.
Mm-hmm.
Little chicken, little dumplings, and a bite of dressing. That's the
The
perfect
dressing's
bite.
good, even though it's been froze.
It's always good, isn't it, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the perfect bite. Let's get this cooled down enough I won't have to embarrass myself in front of y'all.
Cool that dressing down for certain.
It's delicious, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit of that's delicious. That dressing is warm.
I said it's warm.
Mmm. It's fine, Mama.
Mm.
Those dumplings may not look as yellow as you do when you fix a whole hen, but they taste as good as they ever do.
Mm-hmm.
because there was a lot of fat on those pieces.
Had to get that hot dressing out of my mouth.
Did you burn yourself twice in one bite? Yeah, there was quite a bit of fat on those pieces of chicken. And the bone.
Wasn't enough for that much dumplings, though, but a big hen would have been better.
Yeah. Cooking the bones causes it to be a stock more than just a broth. So if you just cook the meat and not the bones, you've got broth. If you cook the bones, then you've also got stock, they call it. So this was more of a stock, and it's just loaded with goodness.
They've got good flavor.
A can of cream and chicken soup would also make it look more rich and yellow. So we just went old-fashioned tonight, cooking it, broth, and...
But I think when you add that, it takes away from the fresh chicken flavor.
Yeah.
The cream of chicken soup.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
my
not
mommy
the same.
always just made...
This is just like my mom made in it.
Yeah, plain dumplings she never made with cream of chicken soup or no.
Did they have cream of chicken soup when you was a kid?
I don't think so. I never did see none, but that don't mean they didn't have it. We just didn't have it.
I always wonder that. When did soup...
I don't know when it come in.
And we hardly ever cook anything without cream of something.
Nowadays.
Every casserole's got a cream of something.
My mommy never bought chicken broth. Like I said, it may not have had it.
My mommy didn't either.
I know it. Not until last year.
Not until I came along and started cooking. I brought the first box of chicken broth in this house. And I got taught to. What are you going to do with that? I said, Mama, it's chicken broth. People use it all the time. Well, why don't you just cook a chicken? I said, well, Mama, sometimes you can just use this box of broth. Well, don't use it in my stuff.
I didn't want it.
Mama. So one day we was making dumplings. I believe it was Christmas. And she didn't have as much broth as she needed. I said, I've got chicken broth in there if you will use it.
That was a hard thing to do.
Well, add a little. Well, when she seen how it looked and it was good, she eventually came around to it. But before that, there was never any broth in this house. Beef or chicken. Mom always made her own. Wouldn't have it, really. It was like if I was trying to put a can of raviolis in her homemade lasagna. It was bad times.
I never could eat canned ravioli.
You ain't having that mess. I ain't starting that, Mama.
No.
Don't you worry. I'll leave your homemade lasagna alone.
You ain't put no cans in my stuff.
Do any of y'all fix lasagna for Thanksgiving? I just wondered. I wonder what the first Thanksgiving really was.
Corn.
Now we see it and we think about it. The first settlers were here. The Indians, they were all together. They was having a big meal. And we always see a picture with a big old turkey and all the trimmings like we have.
I would say it was called maize, and fish.
I would say it was trapped pheasants, and there may not even been a turkey at the first Thanksgiving. It was probably fish
and corn.
Mama's hung on the corn. The maize was there, I'm sure, Mama. But I'm sure it was also root vegetables that they had found. Probably a lot of green leafy vegetables. Probably pheasant. Maybe duck. I don't know what all they might have had. But I'm sure it was animals that they had caught in the area. So traditional Thanksgiving may be bass or some kind of fish.
I need to look that up and check it all out.
I've looked it up before, and it was something like that. And you know, Benjamin Franklin wanted turkey to be our national bird. Could you imagine what would we have for Thanksgiving? Benjamin Franklin.
Couldn't eat the national bird.
No, Benjamin Franklin about messed us up. Wonder if we'd have been eating bald eagle on Thursday.
Oh, That sounds cruel.
Yeah, well, now it does, but if the turkey was the national bird, I bet we wouldn't have been eating it if it was the national bird, though. The things that we think about. I think they had venison. Yeah. Yes, that's probably it. It was probably deer. My grandfather cooked spaghetti and meatballs for our Christmas dinner. Oh, that would be good, Angela. I don't see anything wrong with spaghetti. We used to have pizza for Christmas Eve. Deer. Yep. Frankie, I bet deer was a big... I think probably that was a big... more than turkey. My daddy asked for us to have hot dogs on Thanksgiving several years before he passed, and we always did. Well, that's neat.
What was it?
Hot dogs. Do you cook Cornish hens? I haven't, but I would. I mean, probably deer, wildfowl, and corn. Virginia, I agree with you. No turkeys. Lentils, yeah. Mm-hmm. I had lasagna tonight that my son made and brought to me. That's Sandy, a lot of men make lasagna, and they make delicious lasagna. About 5 years ago, my family switched from turkey and all fixings for Christmas to lasagna, salad, and garlic bread. Susan, that's probably a good move. It's probably more economical. It's probably easier to make, and everybody loves it, I would say. A lot less work, I would hope. Are you having a family over for Thanksgiving? Deborah, we usually don't host Thanksgiving. Have it for years. My mama's sister does Thanksgiving. Mama usually hosts other dinners we have, but on Thanksgiving we usually go to her house or they come here, and she still hosts even if it's here. Roasted hog. Martha, you mean like, are you talking about roasted you have pig. That now, or that would be probably the first Thanksgiving?
First Thanksgiving, roasted pig. They had wild pigs.
We had turkey and ham for Christmas in Australia. Pam, we did too. Turkey and ham as our Christmas. Turkey and ham for Thanksgiving. I said the night we didn't have ham, but Mama reminded me. I do remember a little bit of ham now.
What'd you do? Eat so much turkey you didn't realize
I think I usually just did the turkey traditional. But now, I'm looking forward to ham.
Mm-hmm. She has ham and sweet potato casserole.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. I just was thinking.
Corn, mashed potatoes,
broccoli casserole.
Broccoli casserole. And pecan pie, pumpkin pie. I make pumpkin bread and pumpkin roll. Deviled eggs. We fix those. Mm-hmm. Carrots. Her granddaughter likes carrots. She usually fixes.
It's a table full. This morning you can eat on one plate.
You have to scrounge room in there for your plate because there's so much food on the table.
You could eat yourself a mischief if you let yourself.
Oh, we do, don't we?
Eat yourself right into a nap.
I can do that real easy. I can eat. I'll be ready for a nap or just go right on to bed when I get through it.
No, Mama. We got to go for a little walk after this.
Oh.
You can't go to bed with this much sugar. And you're going to have to drink 20 ounces of liquid.
That's
you better get on it.
Is that a 20-ounce glass?
That's a 8-ounce glass, and you...
No, I know it better than an 8-ounce. That's 10 or 12.
That's what she's drank.
I've done better than you.
I've drank some coffee with mine. You want some more dumplings?
No.
This is all I'm having too. So we've not done horrible. We drank a little more water and maybe take a little 15-minute walk.
I'll have to prop my eyelids open.
And that'll lower your sugar.
I'm tired.
Be glad you ain't feathered. You could be a turkey. Tarred and feathered.
Mm-hmm. Poor little old turkeys. I feel sorry for them.
Not me.
Feel sorry for
Not
them.
me. I think this is their time to shine. And what better way to shine than with a big old glob of butter on your back?
It does make it shine. I'll say that.
I mean, let's just call it like it is.
I seen a little cartoon thing. A turkey had a sheet over it, and the other turkey says, "How long are you going to wear that costume?" He said, "Just as soon as you've been picked over and the leftovers put in a Tupperware thing and stored in a refrigerator." So that was one smart turkey.
That was a smart turkey.
He was in a ghost costume.
So try you some dumplings, folks. Try you some dumplings for Thanksgiving. Or have them for Friday night,
Thursday night.
Or well, they're probably not having tonight. I'm talking about tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, that's all we got. A little bit of chicken and dumplings and some frozen dressing. And that dressing is good. It's real good, and it's been made since August. But we froze it raw. We didn't cook it. And I cooked it just now. It's probably cool enough I can touch it.
I thawed it out, laid it out, and let it thaw out.
And don't that look just like Thanksgiving morning? It's perfect. So if you make you up some dressing and you think this is way too much, freeze it.
We could have saved some that we made for the dinner, but we used every bit of it.
Yeah, we were not saving none of that.
It was 6
We used
gallons.
every drop of that dressing.
There's a little bit in some of the ladies.
6 gallons. That's a 5-gallon jug, or 5-gallon bucket, and a milk jug full. That was a lot of dressing.
It was good though.
Yes, it was. We did receive a donation last week.
Very thankful.
Very thankful, and for $1,000 to go on our windows. A very nice business, and a lady sent it, and she put in there just to be left anonymous. So we do thank you. We appreciate you, and
You're
our
a
church
wonderful
appreciates.
person. God will bless you.
And we'll be in touch with you. So thank you so much. We appreciate it so much. Mm-hmm. Mama, you got anything else?
No. We've got some more cards about Maggie and some Thanksgiving cards, but I've not got them ready.
We'll do those for too long.
Mm-hmm. But I sure do appreciate all of them. They mean a lot.
They really do.
Mm-hmm.
It's still tough times here sometimes. So just remember us, and when you love them fur babies like family, it's no different when you lose them. It takes a while. It's not something you get over in a day or two. So you all keep praying, and we'll keep praying for you, and that's not what we all get through. So Mama, you got anything you want to add?
No, I'm full.
Say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama. God bless you all. Have a very, very good night.
Good night, y'all.